Today I'm going to show you how to repair such a damage to your charger at the very point where the cable meets the charger adapter. These are fairly common injury to chargers, and many people find it difficult to repair it. Now the first thing is to open up the casing of the charger. I have another video which shows how to open it up. I'll link it in the description below. And after opening it, you pull out the joint. The joint is made up of a plastic inner wire, a section, and a rubber section on the outside. So you cut off the destroyed junction or wire using a pair of scissors, and you'll have your junction on one hand and your adapter on the other. Now make sure you leave a bit of wires sticking out from the adapter side. You will use those to connect to your new wire. Now this is the junction you've cut off from your charger, and you may have many of these, so it's good to have a lot because we'll have to do practice, trial and error. Now I have a lot. I'm going to use one though, or two. First of all, I'm going to show you how to make a retina cable junction. You need a pair of pliers to hold your junction, and a drill. The drill bit should be able to drill through plastic, and this is how you go about it. Make sure you drill straight through, because if you do not do that, you'll end up damaging your junction. You want to go through the way of the wire. In this instance, I did the same. I drilled the hole, and also I moved the drill from side to side, but oh no, there is a damage here. This is what I was cautioning you about. You may end up piercing the rubber outer part of the junction, so that is waste. We can pick another and try all over again. This is how you go about it. Also with your drill, now you be careful. Drill straight through. Do not bend the drill in any way. Make sure it goes straight through, but once you feel there is a lack of resistance, you stop, and you pull out the wires from the other rubber side. Pull off the wires and the insulation, and basically you will have a hole already going through your junction. Very neat job if you do it like this. Now what remains is for you to enlarge the hole. Enlargement is done by carefully drilling from side to side. Make sure you do not pierce the rubber outer section again. And if it's for a retina cable like this, retina cables or magsafe, two cables are usually thin, just like this one, so you don't need a very big hole. And the tighter the cable is through the junction, the better your work. So once you drill the hole, keep on trying and checking. If it doesn't fit, enlarge the hole from both sides. It may need a few little work with your drill. And once you got this, if the cable can just pass through, force it through, and then pull it with your pliers. This will give you a very strong joint. Later I have another video which shows how you now connect this kind of joint to your adapter, the MagSafe charger itself. But your work is not finished. You need to now remove the insulation and prepare the end where you're going to connect this wire to the adapter. You do this by peeling off or cutting off the outer rubber sheathing. Be careful not to cut off the inner wires. The naked wire is the return. The one which is insulated with white plastic is the V out, or the positive. So this is how your work will look like. a very neat cable ready to be fixed back to your charger. And this is good for the retina cable, but retina cables are thin, as I told you earlier. MagSafe 1 cables are much thicker. They require a bigger hole to be drilled, and a bigger hole causes more trouble. We are going to see why. So we go through the same process again, drilling through our junction with a drill, hold our junction in our pliers, and drill straight through, being careful not to go to any side, deviate to any side. Straight through drilling. Do not mind the wires, they'll fall off. And by the way, you need to have some protective eyewear, like you may put on some work goggles or protection, eye protection, so as to prevent anything from being thrown into your eyes. Pieces of rubber, metal, or plastic. Protect your eyes, man. So this is how you go about it, but you'll realize that inside the junction there is a small steel plate which holds the wire inside. You'll need to remove that. You'll need to drill from side to side until this small ring of iron comes out. Otherwise your MagSafe 1 wire will not go through. Once you've removed it, now you can push your MagSafe 1 cable through it, because now there is enough space for you to push the wire through. Retina cables, as you can see in the background, are thinner. You don't need to remove that metal ring inside. This is only for MagSafe 1 cables, where you remove the ring. Both of these joints, for MagSafe 1 and MagSafe 2, will have to be secured with super glue. This is to prevent the cable from being pulled through the joint and causing damage to your charger. Your work should look this neat, and so that you may be able to complete the work, you need to prepare the ends of the wires. These ends are prepared once you are through with all the other steps. You remove the outer rubber covering and prepare your negative wires, which is the naked one. You will need to insulate it too. You can use heat shrink tubing. Heat shrink tubing is good for insulation. It's both an insulator and also it will hold the wire tightly. Do this for both your cables. Measure and cut to size, and your work should look this neat. Of course, don't forget to prepare the positive wire too by removing a bit or 1 millimeter of the insulation from its end. Thanks for watching.